Hey, Boo, it's Yvonne Michel coming straight from the den every Monday. You're listening to episode 21, Healing Your Past. You already know I'm bringing inspiration, advice, tips, and story times, a place where you can get good, honest content. And if you're new, hey, Boo. I'm ready, you guys. So, it's the last Monday in February. Wow, the year is already going by so fast. One more week until March. I'm just amazed because last year we could not wait to get out of 2020. And 2020 went by so fast too. It's like you just blink and it's 2 years past. It's so weird. But I am just grateful that I'm here another day, another year, another month, just breathing and alive. And I just thank God every day for that. And I'm glad that you guys clicked on this podcast. Y'all are listening. I really love y'all and appreciate y'all. So I just want to give you a disclaimer on today's episode. I will be getting in deep tissue today. This one is going to be possibly a little bit long. I would recommend listening to this if you are in the bath or an hour-long drive to work, because you do not want to pause this episode today. So, healing your past. That is what today's episode is called today. And first, you should know that you are not your past self. As I mentioned in episode 20, only compare yourself from yesterday to your today. Think how you have changed so far. Like I said, just blinking your eyes and 2 years went by. What were you doing today, last year? If you were in the same home or in the same car or at the same job that you have currently, has there been any changes? You are not the same person. Are you seeing the world differently than you were, last year, last month? You are not the same person that you were yesterday, that you are today. So all of my episodes connect in a way to get you to each step to finally heal your past and move on. So the most main points or main episodes that I want you to focus on is going to be mentioned in this episode today. So don't let your past burden you. Don't let it stalk you or linger over you. Today, we are going to tackle that. As you already know, I take my podcasts very, very seriously. So I do take notes. If you if you hear me flipping some pages, just know you're getting real honest shit. Okay? Awesome. So, I'm going to be using 4 episodes today that you may or may have not listened before to really show you how these episodes prior to today's episode connects and gives you each step so that you can finally heal your past. Alrighty. So, those 4 episodes will prepare you for this one today. Episode 2, Stop Being Your Biggest Critic. Episode 13, Battling Demons or Battling Your Demons. Episode 15, I just went blank. Episode 15, first step, forgive yourself. And episode 19, respect yourself the way you want to be respected, or respect others the way you want to be respected. So those 4 episodes will definitely prepare you for this one today. You can absolutely pause this one, go to those if you just haven't heard it or you want a refresher, but you will be getting tips from those episodes in today's episode. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I deeply and truly care about my listeners. And I want you to know that I do take the time to get real, honest content for you guys. And that's why each of these episodes that I did prior to this one today correlates with this one. And I want you to understand that I really do care about you healing your past. I really do care about you loving yourself and forgiving yourself, because there's so much hate in this world. There's so much hate in this world and not enough love. And that's all I want to share with you. It's just love, y'all. I want to share love. Alrighty, now let me go back and explain what I mean by you are not your past self. Whatever happened to you, around you, or maybe you're the one doing those things, that is your past. That is your past. And if you feel ashamed or feel like this is a heavy burden that you stuffed in a closet and you never want to open it again, don't feel that way any longer, especially not after today. You are just giving that feeling leverage when you do that. Do me a favor. If you are alone, say whatever it is holding you, giving you a burden, whatever is stalking you, say it out loud. Scream it if you have to. And if you're not alone, pause this episode right now. Walk away where you can be alone or be able to just think about it in your head. And if you really can't, if you really just cannot be alone at this time, think about it in your inner thoughts, write it down, and they will only be yours and truly yours. And they can never be shared or taken from you unless you want it to be shared. So go ahead and just scream it out loud, whatever your burden is, whatever's holding you back, whatever is just stuffed in that closet, whatever that heavy thing is on your shoulder, let it out. Whatever happens to you, around you, or maybe you were the one doing those things, that is your past. I am so sorry that it happened to you, that you were around it, or that you were the one doing those things, because you were most likely taught the wrong things. You were most likely shown the wrong things. You were around the wrong things. The wrong things were done to you. And that is not your fault. It's not your fault. That is your past. Today, we're going to let go of it and heal it and focus on our future. Because as I mentioned in episode 20, you are going to compare yourself from yesterday to today. And if yesterday is when you had that burden, today you will not. Today we'll let go of that burden. Today we'll prosper, we'll become better and stronger, and let those weaknesses go. Let those weaknesses go. Don't look back at it. Move on. And that's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing today. Today, we are healing your past, balling it up like a piece of paper and burning it in a fireplace. If y'all got a fireplace, get it lit right now, y'all. Get it lit right now, because we finna ball it up and throw it in that fireplace. Your past only defines how you grew up, but it does not define who you are today. I know everyone's like, but everyone says that it does. What do you mean? You learn something new every day. Each New information you learn shapes your mind and creates a new you every day. Every new person you meet, every new town you move into, you have created a new chapter of you. You are a book, or you have a book, and it's called life. Every page you flip is just a page. Every chapter you flip is your chapter. And soon you will finish this book. But until then, we're going to get rid of those weaknesses, those burdens, those struggles, everything that you stuffed in that closet. We're getting rid of that today. We're moving on, and we're working on our future and moving on to a new chapter of our book called Life. Go ahead and like, comment, and share with your loved ones. I just wanted to throw that one in there because I really love your comments. I really love the fact that you're sharing with your loved ones and just sending on this message because it is so important. Like, all I want to do is spread positivity. All I want to do is spread positivity and love. And I want you to share that with your loved ones so they understand how important it is to love yourself, how important it is to let go and heal your past. Because the more you hold on to it, the more it has a leverage on you. So I'm just going to speak a little bit about episode 2. Episode 2 is Stop Being Your Biggest Critic. That is my favorite episode. I made it my first episode because it is super important. It is the number one thing. Stop being your biggest critic. You should love yourself and nothing else. So what you're quirky? So what you're fat? So what you're skinny? So what you're not a blonde babe on the beach? That's okay because you're you and you're amazing and you're beautiful in every single way. Everyone is beautiful, made in God's image and glorious and intelligent in their own way. You have your own strengths. Stop being your biggest critic. You cannot beat yourself up. You are hurting yourself and making it easier to hate on yourself. And you're just letting more and more negativity in, which stirs up past bullshit and causes unnecessary problems in your life. You are amazing, and I love that word, amazing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. They are haters. If they're telling you otherwise, they're haters. Truly, I never understand why negativity roams around, but it does. And you have to show that you are stronger than it and that you can fight through it and that you're bigger than that and you're better than that. And you are going to be successful with every step that you take. You started at A, but each step, soon you'll be successful and you'll end up at C. And you can be successful in anything. You can be a business person. You could be an influencer. You could be a music majesty. You could be the best mom, the best dad ever. You could be the best in your company. It doesn't matter what it is. Just know that it's you and you are exploring your strengths. And today we are healing your past. Today we are moving on, letting go of the bullshit, letting go of the hurt and the pain that whatever was caused to you. We're moving on. And one of those hurts and the pain can come from episode 13, Battling Demons. We all have that bullshit. And the only way to get rid of it is to not allow any of it, any room for it. Fill your life with only positivity. Fill your life with loved ones who truly care about you, not the ones that judge you, not the ones that, just speak negatively about you. And they say, oh, well, we're family. Well, honey, water can be thicker than blood at times. No matter if we're family or not, if you're toxic, I don't need you in my life. So just know that those demons, may not be only within, but it could be surrounding you. And battling them can be a tough battle, especially if you have so much love and care for that person or family member or whoever it may be. You could even be battling the demons within your mind. And you just have to remind yourself how much you love yourself and how much you are important. And that whatever is being said is not important if you're not positive. Whatever is being said is not true if it's not positive. If it's to help you, then that is good. If someone is telling you that you drink too much and you are not in control of yourself and that you are not being a good role model for your children or for your family or just as a person within yourself, the person that you were or need to be at your age. I don't want to say need to be because everyone has their own purpose, but I guess I would say is you're grown. You should have a home, working at a job, going to work on time, not calling out or getting fired because you never go to work because you're drinking all the time. That's when someone can come to you positively and let you know, my love, you are letting the drink take control of your life, and that is not good. Don't take that negatively. That is good advice. It may sound or feel negative. You may be feeling attacked, but let me tell you, that is out of love. Now, when it comes to cussing and when they start saying negative things about you, like you ain't shit, that's when it's okay. You turn advice into negative, I want to say, turnouts and negative attacks, I guess. And that's not the approach that that person should be taking with you. And I can definitely understand if you don't want to listen to them about that. But if you're hearing many people from different social groups, from family, from friends, from work, if you're hearing the same thing, then there is a pattern and it does need to be fixed. So your demons could be addictions. You never know until you know what you're battling. Like I said, it can be toxic people, it can be addictions, it can be within yourself alone. Those depression waves are heavy. They are heavy for no reason at all, that you just start beating yourself up. And that's why I'm here. We're going to fight through it together, you guys. We are going to get through this and be stronger each and every day, learning how to battle our demons. That's what episode 13 is all about. That you're not alone and that you will survive. Give yourself some space to breathe if you need it. Take in what you just experienced, but do not, and I repeat, do not let it consume you. When you start to let it consume you, that's when it becomes a burden all over again, and it makes things worse. Which brings me to episode 15. First step, forgive yourself. Something I know I constantly struggle with is when it comes to blame. I am ready to put it all, the blame, like put it all on me. And just to deem myself as fault, which creates me to just push people away, and it's unintentionally, but especially like when I try to work on myself, I try to quote unquote fix things for myself or the situation, and that just causes me to push people away, and it just makes me feel like I'm the problem. When in reality, I'm not the sole problem, but it's just me. I just feel like I do a mathematical equation, like me plus this other person, I'm the issue. So let me take myself out the issue so that it isn't an issue anymore. Let me take myself out the equation. There you go. So that it's not an issue anymore. That way, that I can save myself from that person. And the two things that I said in episode 15 was forgiveness is a choice and forgiveness is a part of a healing process. And that's what we're doing today. We're healing our past. I don't know if anybody else does this. And like I said, it's unintentional, but it happens and I've been working on it. I'm still working on it, but I want you to know that you are not alone if this is something that you do. You isolate yourself because you feel like you are constantly the issue. Well, in reality, you're not. You're not the constant issue. And this is a time where you don't want to push yourself. You want to be closer with other people, and this is a time where you should stop overthinking and really sit back and look at what's happening. Try to think of solutions where you're still involved in them. One thing is having just a simple conversation. Just clearing the air always works that way when you just sit down and talk. Another thing could be when you are just letting things take its course, just staying positive and see how things work out in the end. That way you can know what worked and what didn't work. But I always say just speak with that person. Instead of pushing that person away and isolating yourself, just have a conversation. And continue having that conversation until there is a solution, honestly. Forgiveness is a choice. It surely is. To forgive yourself is to love yourself. Forgiveness is a part of a healing process. I want that. I don't want to wallow in sadness and to be alone because I won't forgive myself for my actions. I don't want to be wallowed and sad. I want a healing process for myself. I want forgiveness. And you just have to continue to want it and not overthink or hurt others in that process because you want to push them away, which could just make the issue more dramatic than it really is. And lastly, that brings me to episode 19. Respect others the way you want to be respected. At this point, I want to focus episode 19 on just respecting yourself in general. Respecting yourself is another piece to the healing process. First step, forgive yourself. Second step, respect yourself. Or respect yourself is also to love yourself. To forgive yourself is to love yourself. Each step is really just loving yourself. I hope you know that. And lastly, heal your past. In that episode, I mentioned 9 tips on how to respect yourself and what it means. This is not how people think of you. This is how you think of you. Do you have high expectations for yourself? Or in other words, do you think highly of yourself? I can admit when I put myself in a corner and push people away, negative thoughts enter. I start diminishing who I am and who I consider myself to be. And to think of episode 18, don't be ashamed to ask for help. If you find yourself in a similar situation, my love, this is the time to ask for help. This is the absolute time to ask for help, to boost your confidence, to know that you are more than those words that you use to diminish yourself. You are worthy. This is when you ask for help. You don't push people away. You ask for help. Have a conversation with them. Let them know that you are in a deep, dark place and you just need somebody's hand. Just pull you out and help you to see the light. Because those depression waves are not worth it. They just get you in a deeper, deeper, deeper hole, and it's going to be harder to dig yourself out each and every time the more deeper you go. So just let's work on some tips here. Let's use the tips that I've been giving out in each of these episodes to heal ourselves, to forgive ourselves, to love ourselves, to respect ourselves, to love ourselves, to heal our past so that we can prosper. Here's a tip. How about you? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to start this. The tip I want to give you is sometimes I place like little sticky notes at work, like on my desk, or at home, like on a mirror or on my cabinets or sometimes on my walls. And they're all just full of positivity. I just like the positive words, especially when I look in a mirror and it's like, you are enough. I be like, I needed that. You're so right. I'm over here looking at my jacked up eyebrows and my crazy little curls. But you enough, boo. You enough. Know that. You enough. Okay. Or even when it's, I would write down like, you are loved even at your worst time. And that really touches my heart. I have that one at work. It's similar to that. At work, it's like, goodness, I wish I remembered it. It's similar to that one. It's like, you are loved even if you think you're not, or something like that. And sometimes I do need that at work because honestly, they tell you not to put in your personal stuff. Like, don't bring your personal to your workplace. And how the fuck am I supposed to not do that? I mean, I'm just saying, like, you leaving your personal area and you're going to work. It's going to come with you. I mean, sometimes you can shut it down, but most of the time, if you got kids at home, 2020, let's do it. Like 2020 with this pandemic, it was a whole thing. Like, in the back of my head, I'm like, damn, how am I pay my rent? How am I pay my rent when I'm only working 20 hours a week? Like, it's not, it was just the hardest thing. And so having those notes there, just reminding me like, you're enough, you're worthy, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you are loved even at your worst, you are loved even though you think no one loves you, you are a child of God, like anything. And it's just the fact that it's there. Sometimes you just look down and you see it and it's reassurance. It's reassurance. And it's helpful. It's positivity that you didn't know you needed until you read it every time. You didn't know you needed it until you read it every time you look at it. And I think it's a really good concept that I do, and I hope that you guys do it. If you like, I even put it like on my laptop that I'm using to record this podcast right now. On my podcast, it says, on my laptop, my note says, you are more than you see yourself to be. Aww. Yeah, I'm sorry, that almost made me cry. But it's true, because sometimes I really do diminish myself, and I don't like that, but it makes me feel good when I see those notes. Or like maybe about 2 years ago, me and my friend, we made like a vision board, and I kind of turned my vision board into like a positivity board, and I have it posted up, and I'm looking at it right now as I'm speaking to you. And we just used stuff from the magazines and glue, and we just did it. And some of the stuff for the magazines is like, hello, gorgeous, or Being strong is never easy. Make it happen was one of them. Let me see. What else do I see here? Made with love. So I think I'm made with love. Beautiful hair starts at the root. And I don't take that. I take it literally and I take it figuratively at the same time, because natural hair, don't care. But also, starting at the root, your personality is what really expresses who you are. So I take that figuratively as well. And just those things just make me feel good. Just like I said, you never know you needed it until you looked at it and read it. And I think you guys should do that too. So if you have any girls or any men can do this too, they can do vision boards too, okay? It's not a genderized thing. Get your friends, or if you're a guy, get your girlfriend or your spouse or your partner, same for women, and make a vision board. Put notes around the house, not too much, okay? You just want to make it, you want to make it discreet. That way, when you see it, you don't notice it right away, but then you look at it and you're like, especially when you need it, you actually see it, and then you're like, damn, I really needed that. Like, damn, thank you. Like, I really needed that. Go ahead and like, comment, and share with your loved ones. Like I said, I really, really do appreciate every single comment. And share this with your loved one. I know you guys are getting some tips from me, and I really hope you do appreciate them. All right, so once again, you are not your past self. We evolve every day, every moment in time. Whatever happened to you, around you, or maybe you were the one doing those things, that is... Oh my God, I just burped. My bad, y'all. My bad. I didn't want y'all to hear it, though. Next time, I'm going to just let y'all hear it, because at this point, it's a podcast. I'm going to start doing ASMRs in a second. No, it's like no. Let me get back to it. Rewind. Whatever happened to you, around you, or maybe you were the one doing those things, that is your past. Ask yourself this: am I still letting those things happen to me, happen around me, or control me? Is it physically happening like right now, or is it recently happening? If you answer no, then you are able to not look back, continue, just move on, and you can complete the healing process. If your answer is yes, then you need to know where you stand in all of this. You clearly do not like what position you play in this scenario. Make the option to remove yourself from that past that is recurring. I really want to reiterate that... Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I really want to reiterate that if you are still letting those things happen to you, around you, or letting them control you, then are you ready to let it go? You're saying that you don't like what is happening to you, that you're tired of the same shit happening to you, but are you ready to let it go? Because if you did not like what is happening to you and you're grown, you would cut that shit out. No matter if it's a toxic person, no matter if it's the way that you respect yourself, if how much you love yourself. If you did not like it, then you would not deal with it anymore. It's like not liking broccoli. Why do you keep buying it if you don't like it? There's other vegetables in this world. You don't like broccoli? Okay, try spinach. There's other options. And one of those options is to remove yourself. Remove yourself and don't look back. If you're the one still doing those things, then you have a problem. And that's okay. We're going to make that known. You have a problem. You need help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Maybe you need a therapist. I would say yes to a therapist because family and friends can make things worse and make it biased. Go to a therapist. Talk to them. Get down deep into the root about it and understand why you're doing those things. I'm not saying that it's your fault, but if you are physically knowing that you are doing these things and it's repetitive, then you need help. If it's physically happening to you or around you, no, let me not put those together. If it's physically happening to you, then you need to remove yourself from that situation, from that area. If it's continuously happening around you, then you definitely need to remove yourself from that situation and maybe stop speaking to the same people or being around the same people. Move differently than the other people are moving because it's clearly not safe for you. I just want to make that plain. And it's okay, if they're still happening, because it's not technically your fault that it started. But it is going to be your fault if you don't stop it. So don't allow it to happen any longer. At this point in today's episode, we are healing your past. And in order to do that, you have to forgive yourself. You have to respect yourself. You have to love yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. And know that everyone is battling their own demons. Everyone is dealing with their own bullshit. You're not the only one. So realistically compare yourself when you're thinking about those things. Realistically compare yourself from your yesterday to your today. Your past only defines how you grew up, but it does not define who you are today. And on that note, thanks for listening to episode 21. Comment down below your reactions to today's episode. Love you, boo. Later, boo.